Hello, and welcome to February on the Yes You Are Brave podcast. I'm Pawnee, your host. Let's jump in and let's talk brave today, shall we? Because we are taking back Valentine's Day this week. Taking it back, we're redefining it, and we are just taking a little bit different look at this month and in particular this holiday. So I want to start off with kind of a little connection. For those of you that don't know or haven't been listening for a while, I'm in the process of writing a book. And the book is called You're Not Broken, Just Single. And it is very much a take back your power as single and be happy regardless of your relationship status. I spent a lot of years being made to feel like I was less than, that I was broken because I was not coupled up romantically. And so that's when I started writing this, when I finally found my peace. And I made my peace with being single, and I decided I was going to be happy regardless. I was like, forget this. I'm going to be happy. I don't care that there is not an extra person in my life. And so I've been writing this book, and it has shifted a little bit because I started writing it when I was single, and then I got married a couple of years ago. And so it has shifted. But I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about kind of some angles from the book this month of February. Because also this year, I've decided with the podcast, trying to be better, trying to be more planning. And this month, we're talking about our theme for the month is going to be love, self-worth, and connection. And we're not going to necessarily focus on romantic love. We're just going to be focusing on love because there's all kinds of love. And I hate that we put it all in a box of this has to be you and a romantic partner. I also have to apologize. I'm fighting a cold, and so my voice is all kinds of shaky, but I'm trying to not let that be an excuse. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about other things that we can do this month and other things that we can let Valentine's Day be, just to kind of take it back and to redefine it, make it something that works a little bit better for us. I really wanted to have my book ready to publish next week, and make it a celebration of singles and things like that. And it's just not ready. I didn't want to rush it. As much as I wanted it done, I didn't want to rush it and make it be not as good as it could have been. So this week, we're going to do this podcast episode kind of in place of that. And I wanted to make it a little bit of a celebration of those people who are not always celebrated, but are also doing amazing, awesome things in their lives. So I want to kind of go back a little bit. A couple years ago, I had this realization that like Valentine's Day gets to be just whatever the heck we want it to be. It was Valentine's Day, and my nieces came home I was living with my sister at the time, and my nieces came home from their Valentine's Day party at school because they were both in elementary, and they were so excited. They had to show me all the cards that they got, and I thought, you know what if we just let it be a day? Like, it has become this big, huge, crazy thing, over commercialized, of course, because it's a chance to make money, but it's just this hodgepodge holiday anyway. That is a combination of like 3 or 4 different holidays, different celebrations from 3 or 4 different places. And we've turned it into this celebration of romantic love. But what if we just let it be a day? What if instead of feeling bad that you're single on Valentine's Day, or that it's not exactly what you want, you just let it be a day? What if it just gets to be a Thursday? Or actually, I think it's the weekend this year. But what if it just gets to be a day? And what if we took it back and we let it be like I said, we let it be whatever we want it to be? What if it gets to be a celebration of you and of the good things that you are doing? Okay? I really, really want you to feel like you can just take things and make them yours. Because I feel like that is one of the biggest, bravest things we can do, and also one of the best things that we can do to just let ourselves be happy and make our lives what we want it to be. Instead of just taking what's handed to us, we take things and we make them ours. Okay, not necessarily in like a take over things or whatever, but we just take things and we make them ours. So this year, what if we spent a little bit of time for those people that don't have a significant other. And you show off the things that you're proud of. Let's make it a celebration. What if we make it a celebration for those people? Instead of it's Single Awareness Day, making people feel bad for not having a significant other. What if we just took this time and what are you proud of? What are you celebrating? What have you accomplished and you want to show off? I would love if we could make something like that out of Valentine's Day instead of just making people feel bad because they're alone. Because honestly, most people are alone not because they're not amazing, not because they're not wonderful. More and more people are alone because they have decided that their peace is worth more than a relationship status. And I think that that is amazing and that is wonderful. And we should support people in those type of things. Also, I want to think about how can we celebrate what we do have without putting other people down? Why does it have to be that if someone is winning, somebody else has to be losing? We're not playing. Life isn't like a sport. I mean, it kind of is, but life is not a game where somebody wins and somebody loses. If we're being perfectly honest, we can all be winning. There's no reason why we can't all be winning. Now, if your life is actually sports and that's what you do, then you are going to have to lose some. But generally speaking, we don't have to lose, right? I don't have to lose for somebody else to win, and somebody else doesn't have to win for me to lose, or vice versa. So how can we do that? How can we be more celebrate all the things? Celebrate friendships, and we celebrate families, and we celebrate love in all of its forms, because romantic love is a very, very small part of the definition of love, right? There are so many other types of love, and I think that if we take some time to support those and celebrate those, then it can be a really fantastic day. And I think we also need to not forget to celebrate ourselves and be connected and feel like we have the worth, that we are worth celebrating, regardless of whether or not we have a significant other, right? You're doing great things, just you by yourself. You might also be doing things with your significant other that are also great, and that's fine. And I don't think we should hide from those things. But what can we celebrate, and how can we celebrate in a way that is just doesn't make people feel, or isn't about I'm winning, you're losing. Just I'm going to celebrate what I have, and I'm also okay with celebrating you. I also would encourage you to, if you are one of those people that things have not turned out the way that you wanted, or maybe you just broke up with someone, maybe you have been single for a while now, I want you to give yourself some compassion. Don't beat yourself up over it. Don't feel like you have to go out and you have to find somebody because this is the day of love. Arbitrarily, somebody said this is the day of love. And if you're alone on this holiday, you should feel bad. You don't have to feel bad for being alone. You don't have to feel bad for things that are not out of your control. So let's be compassionate. Let's be nice to ourselves, to other people. Let's not allow things to just be one single thing. Everything gets to be multifaceted because we are multifaceted people, and our lives are big and bold and crazy and complicated, and it's okay that they get to be more than one thing at a time. Let's see if we can't remember that this Valentine's Day. Also, how are you connecting to yourself? How are you being somebody that you are proud of? What are you doing that you want to celebrate next week? That's something also to look at and to feel that connection and that your worth. Your worth is not dependent on you getting chocolates or flowers from somebody else. And you are more than capable of buying your own, right? We can do that, and it's okay. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And Valentine's Day gets to be whatever the heck you want it to be. If you want it to be just a day, let it be a day. If you want it to be a big celebration, it gets to be a big celebration. If you want it to be a little celebration, it can. But it can be just a day if that's what you want. I remember the first Valentine's Day after my father passed away. My dad passed away at the beginning of January. And a couple weeks later, I went into town with my mom for something. And we went to Walmart because that was where she got her pills. And we had to wait a little while because we got there right as they went to lunch. And of course, everything was Valentine's Day, right? And I was in a weird place. I was in a different place. For years, I had hated Valentine's Day. Just absolutely despised it. But that day, everything was different. Everything had been different since my dad got sick, and everything was different. And I had some time. I decided to just wander around. And I was just looking at all of these stuffed animals, and I was feeling them because I'm a very tactile person. I really like textures and things like that. And so I was walking around looking at all these cute little animals and looking at the fun colors and feeling the textures. And I realized in that moment, in that experience of like just wandering around Walmart looking at Valentine's Day, that I didn't have to hate it. I didn't have to be miserable on Valentine's Day. I didn't. Not because I was single. I didn't have to be miserable on Valentine's Day. I didn't have to be miserable if I didn't want to be. And I think that that's the key, is we don't have to be miserable. We get to decide if we're miserable or not. We get to decide if we're going to step into something that makes us happy, or we're going to sit down and mourn or be upset because we haven't been given what we would like, or our dreams of having somebody to do the forever happily ever after with haven't materialized yet. Wherever you're at, it's okay. But this year, I would challenge you to think about it for a little bit. What do you want Valentine's Day to be? Do you even want to bother with it? If not, that's totally fine too. We don't have to celebrate anything we don't want to. But just know that you are wonderful and you are loved. And I would really love to have a celebration of singles this Valentine's Day. So join me over on Instagram. We're going to do some celebrating of singles. See if we can't just highlight some of the amazing things that people are doing that are not typically celebrated. I love you. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And yes, my dear, you are brave.